Here at Headlight Revolution, we are doing something so different this week. In the past, I've done all of our bulb testing on vehicles like this one in advance, and I've only showed you guys the best option possible. Of course, you got to take my word for it in that it actually is the best option possible. Today, I've got 5 different bulbs from some of the best manufacturers on the planet in the LED lighting industry, and I'm going to bring you guys with me today, and it's going to be like a Headlight Revolution ride along. We're going to do all the testing together, and you're going to see for yourself which one is the best option. Behind me is a 2016 GMC Canyon. Let's get started. Now, for those of you guys that are at home in a hurry to get the best bulb possible for your truck, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 bulb came in at an unbelievably high number compared to the other bulbs. I'm not going to give you that just yet. You need to skip to the end of the video to see just how much brighter it was. But if you're looking to just make a decision today, this bulb was leaps and bounds above the competition. Now, installing it is extremely simple, and on this truck, I wish they still made them like this because, you know, on the Fords and the Dodges, you got to pull the grills off, pull the headlights out. Takes a ton of tools, takes a ton of your time on a Saturday. This thing, you can pop the hood, the dust covers are easily exposed. This one's got a little plastic covering on it that just pulls back, nothing to it, and a bulb like this one fits in just fine. I wouldn't recommend any bulbs with a bigger heatsink than this one though. It's gonna get close to the dust cover. The last thing you wanna do is order a set of bulbs on Amazon, eBay, whatever, pop them in there, have the dust cover not fit. You're gonna get moisture in the headlight, you're gonna get dirt in there, and they won't be as bright as this thing. So let's get these things installed. All right guys, this is behind the driver's side headlight. This is our low beam dust cover right here. This is our high beam dust cover right here. And they just twist counterclockwise. They pop off like so, and your factory bulb is inside that opening. We'll do the same thing for the high beam. Twist it counterclockwise, pops off just like that. And as you can see very clearly here, this is our high beam bulb. Twist that counterclockwise, press in on the tab, remove it from the factory wire harness just like that, and we can set this off to the side. Now, when it comes time to install our new LED bulb, go ahead and insert it into the opening, twist it clockwise. As you can see, the heatsink fits perfectly, and now we can plug in our factory wire harness just like so. Clicks together real nice. All of this will tuck into the headlight itself, and we'll be able to reinstall our dust cover. It's the most critical part of choosing an LED bulb for this particular truck. You want everything to fit inside the headlight real nice. The last thing we want is to be getting any moisture, debris, dirt, anything like that in our headlight driving down the road. It's a brand new truck, we don't need that. Lock the dust cover in place just like that. It really is that simple. Now do the same exact process for the low beam. Unfortunately, we tried to get footage of this part and we just couldn't. It's just a little too tight, but I'll do my best for you guys. So we've got our new GTR lighting bulb installed in the low beam. We sped that up so you guys could see the process, and as you can see, everything fits perfectly in there. We can go ahead and reinstall the dust cover. And once again, I apologize that you can't quite see the low beam itself. It's tucked pretty far under the fender. Thankfully, you can do this install just fine without taking anything apart, but filming it's another story. Locks in place just like that. As you can see, we retained our factory dust covers. Nothing's gonna get in these headlights, and they're gonna be so much brighter. All right guys, so I showed you how the bulbs get installed, and now here's how the testing is going to work. As you can see to my left, I've got a little bit of everything in front of me. I've got some of the best bulbs on the market, and we're also going to throw in a couple of your run-of-the-mill Amazon, eBay bulbs that you've probably heard a ton about. You know, the $40 bulbs that everybody seems to be running and everybody seems to be in love with. Well, I'm going to show you guys, no holds barred, no camera tricks. The settings are going to be the exact same. I'm going to show you exactly how those things stack up compared to some of these leading manufacturers. So we're going to flip this truck around. We're going to point it at our studio wall from about 20 feet. We're going to take a lux reading on how bright these bulbs are. Now, lux is your usable light output. It is the best way to show how bright or how dim a bulb is. That's not all we're looking for, though. It doesn't matter how bright the bulb is if we've got a terrible beam pattern. We don't want to be flashed by oncoming traffic, and more importantly, we want to be able to see at night. So we're going to be looking for a nice uniform beam pattern with a nice hot spot right in the middle, no glare above the hot spot. If we get any glare, we're going to try to find a different bulb. We're going to try to find that perfect combination of bright without offending oncoming traffic. So let's hop in this truck, let's get it pointed the right direction, let's get testing. Now today the bulbs we're going to be testing, obviously we're going to be testing the Halogen factory H11 low beam bulb just to see how bright, or in this case how dim it is, followed by the SV4, followed by the Extreme LED Pro bulbs from Xenon Depot. Those have been a channel favorite of ours. They fit just about everything. We've got the SL1 LED headlight bulbs from Diode Dynamics, made in USA. We like those guys. We've got the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 bulbs, which, I mean, I did give you guys a little bit of a spoiler. Those things came out on top. We've got the new Phillips LED bulb, and then we've got the OP7 bulbs, you know, the typical Amazon style bulb that several companies are selling today. And we're gonna see how all this stuff does, and like I said earlier, I'm not gonna hold anything back. What you see is really what you get. If you bought all of these bulbs yourself and did this test at home, you'd get the same results as me. So this is what our GMC Canyon factory low beam looks like. As you can see, it's not very bright. That's probably why you're watching this video in the first place. This came in at 270 maximum lux. I understand why you're here. Let's see which of these LED bulbs can solve that problem. Now, the OP7 LED bulb was the lowest performing bulb in this shootout. It was still brighter than stock, but as you can see, we kind of lose our hot spots with this particular bulb. This one came in at 300 maximum lux. The stock low beam lux was 270. But with the stock low beam, we still had hot spots, and hot spots are very important for your light distance. You want hot spots so that you can reach down the road, you'll see and illuminate obstacles in your way. Without a hot spot, your headlights aren't going to perform very well. This is what our Phillips LED bulb looked like, and the Phillips bulb came in at 540 maximum lux. Compared to the stock 270, that's really not bad. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a shadow on the left side of the beam pattern, as well as the lower right. Not sure what's going on there, but we do have a hot spot, unlike the OP7 bulb, and if you chose this one, really wouldn't be bad, but there were a few better options. Now, the Diode Dynamics SL1 bulb actually had a really nice beam pattern. As you can see, we've got a nice cutoff line, still got a little bit of that shadow effect that we saw earlier, but it doesn't seem to be quite as pronounced. And honestly, look at that cutoff. Look at the steps. It maintains that factory beam pattern. It just whitens it and brightens it. The Diode Dynamics SL1 bulb came in at 640 compared to 270. It's a nice improvement. It's a made in USA option. Not bad. Now, the Xenon Depot Extreme LED Pro is a bulb that we've been playing with a lot on this channel lately. And as you can see, it actually performed really well here. We've got a nice, distinct left and right hotspot. We've got a uniform shadow effect on the left and right. And honestly, as long as it's uniform and as long as it's not right in the hotspot, I'm really not upset about it, because that hotspot really makes up for it. As you can see, these hotspots are going to reach way down the road, and the Xenon Depot bulb came in at 810 maximum lux. Compared to 270, that is a jump. That is really nice. So, Xenon Depot, definitely not a bad option. Now, the SV4 bulb came in at 980 maximum lux, and this one was strange to me because we've got a beautiful hotspot and we've got a nice cutoff line, but look at this shadow we picked up in the bottom center of the beam. Not sure what's going on there. And honestly, as far as drivability goes, I wouldn't particularly want that, but the hotspot does make up for it, and to be fair, if you had a good fog light paired with this headlight, you'd probably not notice it, but in the interest of keeping this a fair, unbiased review, I have to mention it. 980 maximum lux is an awfully bright bulb, but that shadow concerns me. Now, the GTR Lighting Ultra Series 2 bulb came in as our winner here. This came in at 1030 maximum lux compared to 270. That is insane. And look at the beam pattern. We've got very, very minimal glare above the cutoff line. We've got diminished shadows on the left and right. All those other bulbs had that in common. They had that shadowing there, and this one really gets rid of that. I'm really surprised by that. It's not quite what I expected. We don't have the shadow in the dead center of the beam pattern like the Extreme LED Pro and the SV4 did. And honestly, look at the cutoff line. Look at the hot spots. This is going to reach so far down the road. It is the clear winner here, and it's not even close. So guys, I had the vehicle pulled in the shop already. There's no way I could let it leave with fog lights looking like this, so I installed the same bulb in the fog lights, and check out the difference, all right? This was over 3 times brighter than that, and you can tell it just by looking at it. Look at that. If you're doing your low beam, you're doing your high beam, you might as well do the fog lights too. Now, like I said, the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 came out on top, and we ended up outfitting this truck with the low beam, the high beam, and the fog light. This bulb works in every application. It works perfect. And this thing is so much brighter than the way it came in here. Now, I hope you liked our testing process so far. If there are any bulbs that you'd like to see in future tests, please comment below. I check all of these comments personally. I'm always looking for input, so please, if you've got any ideas, any advice, I'd love to read it below. Now, if you've got a truck just like this one, this is a 2016 GMC Canyon, we would love to help you outfit your truck. We've got a cargo light video coming out, low beam, high beam, fog light like you just saw. Check out the channel, subscribe. We've got a lot coming out, and I'd love to show you guys every single video.